Hello dear students, welcome to another unit of EVS, and today we are going to study about green life. As we look around, we see so much green around us, and almost all of those green are the trees and the plants. And the trees and plants come in different shapes, sizes, color, smell. Wow, they create so much beauty around us. They are the reason that we have a cooler climate, and even the rain, when we uproot so many trees, we have things like drought. All those problems are there. So actually the plants and the plant life, are very, very important for human beings and animals. Okay, so since plants are very important, let's learn a little bit deeper about plants in today's unit number 7. So as I just said, the plants are of different shapes, sizes, colors and smell. And there are different categories of plants. First, let's see what are the different categories of plants. Then today we will we'll quickly run through parts of plants. Then the third topic that we will study today is uses of plants. See, we've just talked about plants being very useful to human beings and animals. Okay, so how are they useful to us? So these are the 3 important topics that we will learn today. So let's begin. What are the classification of plant life? The number 1 is trees. What are the characteristics of trees? The trees are big, right? They are huge trees, tall trees, short trees. But the trees, the most important part is the trees have very sturdy, hard stem. Okay? Some will be very big, some will be medium, yet the trees have very sturdy and hard stem. That's the one quality about a tree. And the next thing is trees live for a very long time. Okay, and trees are taller, yes, and it is full of leaves and fruits and everything. Okay, so the common examples of trees, as you look around, you can see variety of trees, but today we'll just see 4. Ashoka tree, pine tree, then gulmohar tree and neem tree. And all these trees are useful to us in many, many ways. What is the second classification of green or plant life? The second one is shrubs. Now they are shorter and smaller than the trees. Okay? Shorter and smaller than the trees. They also have hard stem, but it is thinner. But it is thinner than the trees. What about the lifespan? They live for a few years, not as long as the trees. That's about shrubs. So examples of shrubs are the beautiful paper rose or bougainvillea plant, then cotton plant. Okay, all these things are shrubs. Okay, then the next classification is herbs. Herbs are very small plants. That's the first characteristic. Second characteristic is their stem is soft and green color stem. And the third quality about the herbs are they live for only 1 or 2 seasons. All right. Then the examples are, yes, as you go into your mom's kitchen garden, you can see the spinach, the mint leaves, yes, the coriander leaves. All these things are herbs. There are so many other varieties of herbs, so many types, okay? But we will just learn a few things today, and as you go in higher classes, you will learn much more about herbs. Then the next classification. So far we saw 3. Trees, okay? Second one is shrubs, and third one is herbs. The next one is climbers and creepers. Now, why do I say both of their name together? Because they have similarities and yet they are different. Okay? And it is easier to learn about climbers and creepers for your remembrance because the name itself says what they are. The first kind is climbers, the second kind is creepers. So climbers will climb, creepers will creep. That's how you understand. What are their similarities? Both of them have weak stem or green color and weak stem. What is different about them? Even though both of them have weak stem, the climbers, if you get a wall or a stick or another tree, they will climb. Okay? But the creepers, even if you get a support, they cannot climb. You know why? Because they have big leaves and they produce big fruit and vegetables like a pumpkin, yeah, and a watermelon. They are all produced by creepers, and now that explains why they are not able to climb. They're quite heavy fruits, right? Okay, so those are the classification of plant life. Trees, shrubs, herbs, climbers and creepers. Okay, so you remember the trees have longer life, then shrubs have few years, herbs have 1 or 2 seasons only, and similarly climbers and creepers. And what is their stem? Trees have hard and sturdy stem. Okay, huge, there'll be big broad one, very sturdy, strong, that means. And then shrubs have hard stem but they are thinner. And what about the herbs? They are soft and green. What about climbers and creepers? Weak and soft stems. So these are the classifications. So examples of climbers are the pea plant, the beans, grapes, bitter gourd. So you must have seen all of this. If your mom has a kitchen garden or your grandma has a kitchen garden, you would have noticed they'll put sticks so that they can climb. Okay, so those are the climbers. And examples of creepers, as I mentioned, pumpkin and watermelon. All right, so have we learnt about these classifications? So shall we move forward? Okay, so we will quickly brush through parts of a plant. Parts of a plant is something you've been learning from the lower classes. Okay, but yet, all right, let's classify them as the one below the ground and the one above the ground. So what is below the ground? Of course, the roots. What's above the ground? Immediately above is the stem. Okay, and then on that we get leaves. Then we have flowers, and before the flowers become full bloom, they are called buds. Okay, and then they have fruits. Then yes, they have seeds inside the fruits. They have beautiful leaves. So all these are parts of a plant. It's an activity in your textbook and you can think and write. Do not look anywhere. Yeah, it will be a good activity for you. Okay. All right. Now moving on to the third topic that we are going to study. It is the uses of plant. Everywhere there are plants, right? And all these plants, we know that they are producers, or they produce food for themselves and for the other living beings. That is more herbivorous animals, that is the plant eating animals, eat solely from the plants. Then we human beings also eat from the plants. So the plants are called as producers because they produce their own food. Okay, so in what ways are these plants useful to us? So many ways. So many ways. In fact, every part of a plant is useful. Not every plant, but parts of plants. Every parts of different plants are used for our cooking or used for some purpose, which we will see right now. So first one, turn your textbook to page number 93. There are 6 categories of things that the plants give us. I told you every part of plants are useful. Okay, some plants we'll take the tubers, that is the root. Some plants we take the leaves, some plants we take the stem, some plants we take the flowers, some seeds, some fruits. Okay, so on the whole, a plant is very useful. But there are 6 important things that the plant does for us, and let's see what they are. They give us cereals, okay, all the rice, wheat, bajra, jowar, all those things, cereals, pulses like our dals. Then it gives us fruits, vegetables, oils and spices. Is that 6? Okay, so these are the things that we get from the plants. Let's see them one by one. Before that, let's look at the uses of plant like we looked at the parts of the plant. Shall we? Okay, so we discussed that below the soil, yes, it's the roots. So what all are the roots that we eat? Which are the roots that we eat? Onions, potatoes, potatoes, carrots, beetroots, tapioca, garlic, small onions, all these things are under the soil, okay, the roots. Okay, there are much more which you will learn slowly, but for today's class we will learn this. These are the various roots that we eat. Now let's go a little above the soil is the stem. So stems, which are the ones that we enjoy, the stem of certain plants, sugarcane, then asparagus, celery, okay, and then of course coriander, the stem of the coriander. So these things we enjoy, they are very yummy, and they in fact flavor our food so well. Alright, so we have come to the stem. Let's go to the leaves. So what are the leaves we enjoy? Yes, spring onions, then curry leaves, coriander leaves, spinach leaves, or cabbage. All these things are leaves of the certain plants that we eat. What is next? Flower. The flowers are cauliflower, broccoli, okay, and these days lot of cooking, the Asian cooking and all, uses other flowers of plants also in the food. So in fact they use it to decorate, and they have some food value, some nutrients, okay. So those are the flowers of the plants we use. What is left? Seeds. Yes, seeds of the plants are wheat, maize, okay. These are all the various seeds, and in fact, when we'll come to the spices later, but in spices, lots of them are the various seeds, okay, like our jeera, then the mustard seeds, yes, all these things, coriander seeds, they're all seeds that we use to make our food very tasty. Okay, so those are the seeds. What about the fruits? Yes, tomatoes, and then various fruits like apples, oranges, all these things are the fruit of the plant. So have we covered all the parts? Root we covered, stem we covered, leaves we covered, flowers, yeah, fruits and seeds. We covered all the parts, okay. So as you can see, all the parts of the plants are in some way or the other edible, or in most of the plants it's edible for us, okay. Then moving on, what are the other uses of plants? Yes, the very first thing that your parents or your grandparents have in the morning, tea or coffee, it comes from the plants. Coffee comes from the seeds of a plant, tea comes from the leaf of a plant, and the sugar we put into the tea and coffee comes from the stem of a plant. Wow! Amazing, no? Plant life plays such an important role in our lives. Okay, it doesn't stop there. Let's go on. Okay, in the next page of your textbook, we will also see that plants give us medicines, okay. Roots of plants, stem of plants, seed of plants, flower of plants, everything will give us medicines. Even parts of the bark of the tree, all this will give us medicines. Then they even give us rubber, which we use to make erasers, then various other rubber items, our slippers, all come from the rubber. Then Cotton, yes. Jute, all this help us to make bags and clothes and textile, other textile stuff, right? And then wood for furniture, okay? And then the next thing that the plants does for us is perfumes, okay? Jasmine, rose, okay? These perfumes also come from the plants. What about the paper of your textbook? Yes, paper comes from the trees that make papyrus, okay, and the pulp, and then it gives us the paper. Don't you think plants are wonderful? Wow. We haven't finished yet. We have some more. Next is we learned that cereals, pulses, fruits and vegetables, and oils and spices. So let's see what are the oils. Mustard oil, sesame oil, coconut oil, olive oil, all these oils, sunflower oil, all these come from the plants. Then spices, bay leaves, nutmeg, then clove, cardamom, then from the bark of the tree cinnamon. All these things come from the plants. Wow. Amazing, no? Wow. So I am so glad that we are able to have all these plants around us, okay? They not only give us food, but they give us shade. It's a shelter for other animals like birds. And then it helps to add to the atmosphere. That is, they will give out oxygen. They'll take in carbon dioxide because they are producing their own food. And then if plants are not there, there won't be much rain. So the plant life is so very important to us. So did you learn about much more about plants than what you knew the previous year? I think so. Okay. So can we do a quick recap? Yes, we learned about the types of plant or the classification of plants: trees, shrubs, herbs, climbers and creepers. And each of them, what is the speciality and how long do they live? That's what we learned. And then we did learn a little bit about parts of the plants. And then we went to the uses of plants. They give us cereals, pulses, fruits, vegetables, oils and spices. And not just that, they even give things like cotton, jute, wood, rubber, okay, medicines, then bamboo, that is some trees give us paper, and then of course fragrance, yes, those are also given by the plants, and then of course the oils and the spices. So next time you step out of your house and you see plant life around us, take a good look. In fact, you can even ask your parents and grandparents, and they can add to the information that you learn from your textbook, because your parents and grandparents are also a source of information about what they know. Okay, so talk to them and find out, and if you have some new findings, write it down in your book and you can share it with your friends and you can share it with others next time. Okay, so I'm hoping that you enjoyed today's class. So till we meet with another interesting topic, we will see you soon. Bye-bye.